My husband handed me a birthday gift that wasn't meant for me. Inside was a pregnancy test with 2 pink lines and a note that said, "Happy anniversary, my love." Let me take you back to how this all started. 3 weeks ago was my 35th birthday, and I thought I had everything. Mark, my husband of 8 years, had planned what he called the perfect surprise party at our house. My best friend Sarah had been helping him organize everything for weeks. She was practically living at our place, coming over every day to help with decorations and coordinate the guest list. I should have been suspicious. Sarah and I had been inseparable since college, but lately she'd been different. More secretive. Always checking her phone and smiling at messages she wouldn't share. When I'd ask who was texting, she'd just say work stuff and quickly put her phone away. The morning of my party, Mark seemed nervous. He kept checking his watch and running upstairs to wrap my gift. Every time I tried to peek, he'd practically body block me from the bedroom. "It's a surprise, babe," he kept saying. "Trust me, you're going to love it." The party was beautiful. Our backyard was covered in fairy lights, my favorite flowers everywhere, all my friends and family laughing and celebrating. Mark had thought of everything. Even my sister flew in from Portland. I felt so loved, so grateful for this perfect life I'd built. But then I noticed Sarah wasn't drinking. She loved wine more than anyone I knew, but she kept nursing the same sparkling water all night. When I asked if she was okay, she got this strange look on her face. "Just trying to be healthier," she said, but her voice cracked a little. As the evening wound down, Mark pulled me aside with this beautifully wrapped box. His hands were actually shaking as he handed it to me. "Open it," he whispered, and there was something in his eyes I couldn't read. Excitement? Fear? I tore off the wrapping paper in front of everyone. Inside was a small velvet jewelry box, but it felt too light to be jewelry. I opened it, and that's when my world collapsed. A pregnancy test. Positive. And underneath it, a handwritten note in Mark's messy scrawl, "Happy anniversary, my love. Can't wait to start our family. M." The blood drained from my face. This isn't mine. This can't be mine. "Mark," I whispered, holding up the test. "What is this?" His face went white. Everyone at the party had gone quiet, staring at us. Mark's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. That's not, oh my God." He grabbed the box from my hands, staring at the contents like he'd never seen them before. That's when Sarah made a sound. A small, broken whimper from across the patio. I turned to look at her, and she was holding her stomach, tears streaming down her face. "Sarah?" My voice came out as barely a whisper. And then it hit me like a freight train. The pregnancy test wasn't meant for me. It was meant for Mark. From Sarah. And he'd grabbed the wrong gift. "You're pregnant," I said, looking at my best friend. "And it's his." Sarah burst into sobs. Mark looked like he was going to throw up. My sister grabbed my arm to steady me because my legs had turned to jelly. "How long?" I managed to ask. 3 years, Sarah whispered. "We've been together for 3 years. 3 years." While I was planning our future, picking out anniversary gifts, talking about having kids someday, they were building a secret life behind my back. Every girls' night when Sarah would come over to keep me company while Mark worked late, he wasn't working late. He was with her, and she was coming to my house afterward to watch me be grateful for my faithful husband. "The baby shower you're planning for your cousin next month," I said to Sarah, the pieces clicking together. "There is no cousin, is there?" She shook her head, sobbing harder. But wait. It gets worse. My sister stepped forward, and I'll never forget the look on her face. "Sarah called me last week," she said quietly. "She wanted to know if you'd been trying to get pregnant. She was worried about timing." Timing. They were planning to tell me about the affair by making me think I was infertile while my best friend got pregnant by my husband. The party cleared out fast after that. Within 20 minutes, it was just me, Mark, and Sarah standing in the wreckage of my birthday decorations. Mark tried to explain, to apologize, but I couldn't hear him over the roaring in my ears. I walked inside and locked the door. Through the window, I watched my husband and my best friend have what looked like an argument on my back patio. Then I watched her get in his car. They left together. On my birthday. They left me alone on my birthday to deal with their mess. I spent the next 3 days in bed, crying and planning. By day 4, I was ready for war. I called a lawyer first. Then I called Sarah's fiancé. Yes, she was engaged to someone else this entire time. Poor guy had no idea his future wife was pregnant with another man's baby. But my favorite call was to Mark's boss. See, Mark had been using work conferences as cover for his romantic getaways with Sarah. Except his boss had no record of half the conferences Mark claimed to attend. Turns out, Mark had been stealing money from the company travel budget to fund his affair. Within 2 weeks, Mark was fired and facing embezzlement charges. Sarah's fiancé left her, and she had to move back in with her parents at 33, pregnant and alone. Mark came crawling back, begging for forgiveness, but I'd already filed for divorce. The best part? I kept the house. All of it. Because Mark's embezzlement meant I could prove financial misconduct during our marriage. His lawyer advised him to give me everything to avoid jail time. 6 months later, I threw myself another birthday party in that same backyard. This time, it was a celebration of my new life. Sarah texted me that day she'd had the baby, and Mark had already skipped town rather than pay child support. Some gifts are exactly what you need, even when they're not meant for you. That pregnancy test saved me from wasting any more of my life on people who didn't deserve me. I'm 36 now, and I've never been happier. Found out real friends don't sleep with your husband, and real love doesn't require lies. Have you experienced something like this? Tell me in the comments.